Know your own value. People say this the whole time, don't they? Know your own value, bro. Yeah, dude, just know your own value. I want to explain in this video why it's essential that you know your own value, but not quite for the reasons that you think, all right? And here's what it is in a nutshell. It sounds very new agey, doesn't it? Just like, yeah, man, just know your own value. Yeah, love yourself. That kind of thing. And that has value. I'm not detracting from that. I think that you absolutely should know your own value because you have value as a human being, and you should acknowledge that, and you should celebrate that, and all of those good things. I absolutely acknowledge the sort of more hippie-ish side of this. But the truth of the matter is, the dating marketplace today, in 2022, going forward into 2023, and so on, is absolutely ruthless, okay? It's ruthless out there. And if you don't have very high self-esteem, in fact, if you don't have irrational self-confidence, then you are going to be mercilessly weeded out by your competition, okay? You're going to be ruthlessly overlooked. You're going to be cast aside like a used up something or other, used up piece of toilet tissue, let's say. And that's why you need to be absolutely convinced of your own value. Now, look, I have, for a long time, had the ability to be quite cocky and to walk into situations with a certain air of overt, over-the-top self-esteem and cockiness. That's something that in the beginning I sort of faked it to make it, and then it became a little bit more natural over time. It became a little bit more intrinsic to my actual character, okay? Other people don't seem to have that, and they don't even seem, and this I'm talking to other guys here who are getting into dating and they want to learn about this stuff. They don't even seem to have the awareness that it's necessary, or that it could potentially be an attractive quality to have, okay? And here's the thing, there's many guys out there whose value is actually extremely high, you know, whose value is very front-loaded. They are good looking, they are jacked, they are well dressed, they do have a decent job, they are articulate, they do have things to say, they have an interesting life, they've got interesting experiences that they can impart. And yet when we work with them and we do training with them, they'll go into an interaction with a young woman who may be very beautiful, but, you know, perhaps objectively doesn't really have the same value. You know, maybe she hasn't done as much with her life yet, maybe she hasn't experienced as many cool things, maybe she hasn't embarked on such a successful career. And the guy walks into that interaction with an air of less than about him. You know, he believes, and it shows, that he is less than the girl, okay? And those guys, unfortunately, tend to get rejected brutally. You know, she might entertain a conversation, she might smile, she might have a bit of a chat, she might even give a phone number sometimes. It tends not to go anywhere, right? Because the guy doesn't have that rock solid sense of his own value. And here's the thing, I'm not even talking about pretended value here. I'm not talking about sort of assumed value for the sake of doing the interaction. I'm talking about actual genuine value. You know, these guys should actually seize their value, the reality of their value, and go in there and almost be a bit more brash about it in a way. I mean, most of us, particularly British guys, some European guys, I mean, American guys, you would think American guys would be more showy and more brash about their value, but actually often they're not. And I think the reason is most of us really are brought up to be quite polite and self-effacing and even self-deprecating at times. And that's all very well in sort of polite society if you were at a dinner party with your grandparents or something. But in the dating marketplace, you know, you go to the Vegas pool party, you go to the infamous Cancun phone party, you know, you go to the strip in Ibiza or wherever it is, and guys, it's ruthless out there, I'm afraid. You know, I mean, remember, these girls, their egos are getting blown up on TikTok, on Instagram, etc., etc. Their egos are through the roof, okay? If you don't match that energy, how do you think she's going to react to you? Because remember, she wants a guy who's higher value than her, okay? Now, there are external ways of demonstrating high value. Guys know this already intuitively. We know about if you've got a Lambo, that's going to look good. We know if you've got a flashy, expensive watch, that's going to look good. We know if you wear expensive designer clothes, that's going to look good. Okay, but those things are fine. But if you don't have the attitude Okay, if you don't have the attitude of like, I know my value, I am damn well valuable in the dating game. You may not get it, this particular woman that I'm talking to now, you may not get it, and that's cool. I'll just go on to somebody else who isn't so stupid and they can see my value. Okay, that is the kind of attitude that you should be bringing to this. This is the kind of energy that you want to be bringing to the table, particularly in these environments, and that's most environments in the Western world now, to be honest, where actually it's pretty damn difficult. You know, you can't expect to walk up to a girl who's objectively, very beautiful, maybe an 8 or a 9, if you want to use that stupid scale. How do you objectively expect to walk up to her in a sort of self-effacing, self-deprecating Hugh Grant in a rom-com way, and she's going to think you're the bee's knees? She's not. She's going to go for that cocky bastard over there who has a brash and overly self-confident sense of his own importance, okay? This is what you need to develop. It's not just putting your arms around yourself and hugging your inner child and, oh my God, I'm so valuable, really. I mean, that stuff is important, but just in the pure visceral sense of the dating marketplace, you have to do this. You have to do this. I mean, God, we live in a consumerist society, for God's sake. I mean, do you think advertisers put up billboards about their products and go, yeah, it's kind of okay, I don't know, could do with a few improvements, but, well, whatever? No, you've got to say you're the best. You've got to say you're the best in the world ever. That's the attitude that you've got to damn well have, all right? And stop deifying people on social media as well. Stop deifying male celebrities, male sports stars, male YouTube stars, whatever, right? Stop hero worshipping these people. You are the damn hero, not them, okay? In your reality, you are the hero, all right? That's the energy you've got to be bringing. For God's sake. I mean, it kind of astonishes me sometimes that people just don't see this, right? I mean, I obviously work with a lot of guys. We're traveling around. We're helping guys out with this stuff in between my writing career. And, yeah, man, I mean, we meet these guys. They're self-effacing as hell. It's like, come on, bro. Jesus. Firstly, you are high value. And secondly, it's like we always say, right? The game is your marketing and the product is you, okay? So, okay, you're high value, that's one thing. And you need to be working on your value the whole time. Do the work. But also you need to show that. You need to market that. You need to use advertising. You need to portray that to people. And if you're not portraying it to people, guess what? You're not really in the game. You're going to get overlooked, okay? The meek do not inherit the earth, all right? The meek get shafted. It's the guys who are brash and very, very convinced of their own value and happy to communicate that to others who inherit the earth and get the best of the dating game, okay? So, look, I hope this makes sense. I think it does. I mean, to me, it seems like a bit of a no-brainer, but to many of you guys, it seems like it needs to be explained, so I hope that makes sense. If you want to get a free call with me to talk about your dating life, how things are going for you, how we can help you, then hit the link below and make an appointment with me. Hit subscribe to the channel, give me a like, write a comment below, all of that good stuff. And yeah, I'll speak to you again soon. But just remember, you've got to hold your own value and you've got to broadcast it to people. Otherwise, it's game over. Really is game over.